Hello YouTube. Wanted to make this video comparing a Joeveo coffee mug with a YETI. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Joeveo. They're fairly new. I got on their Kickstarter program about 2 years ago, and it's a really interesting product. It works really well, and so I wanted to actually compare it to see how well it actually works. Now, what their claim to fame is how it keeps the coffee warm, and that's kind of what I wanted to show everyone here. This is triple walled design. There's actually 3 layers of stainless steel. It's a high grade stainless steel, just like the YETI is. I used to use this constantly. I've since switched to using just the Joeveo, but they're both made extremely well. The way the Joeveo works, though, is the outer layer is vacuum sealed, just like the YETI, but it's the inner layer where all the magic happens. And so this was the Kickstarter brochure that I got way back in the day, and you can pause the video to actually read this. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but it's actually the last page here that explains why the Joeveo is so special. So this inner layer, let me switch it to this view, actually have this gel that's been formulated to absorb the heat and then to release that heat back into the mug to keep your liquid hot. And it does that at a very specific temperature. It does that at 175 degrees, which they say is the optimal temperature for drinking coffee. I am not a coffee connoisseur, but it's a pretty good temperature. So as you know, when you actually brew coffee, it brews at a much higher temperature. If you remember many years ago, the woman who spilled her McDonald's coffee in her lap and sued because it scorched her skin, everything. Yeah, I can see that. You know, most brewing home brew, your Krupps and other home brewers brew coffee at about 200 degrees. Your industrial brewers will be much hotter than that. So what this is designed to do is once the coffee is in here, they say to put the coffee in there, put the lid on, and then let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes, and it normalizes that temperature and brings it down to 175, and then you can start drinking it. And again, it does. It actually works as advertised. But I want to see how long it keeps that temperature as opposed to the YETI. Because when I used to use this, I would pour the coffee in and start to drink it, and I actually burnt my lip a few times because I remembered, oh, that was stupid, I should have waited. So it does keep the coffee warm, absolutely, but it gradually will get colder and colder. Well, the Joeveo, I think, will just kind of give it a nice even keel and then drop once it just gets too used. Anyway, so I'm not going to compare the mugs. I'm sure there are definitely videos out there. I don't know. The lids are both nice. What I like about the Joeveo, though, is that when I take it in my car, it has this little flip, so the coffee kind of stays there and doesn't actually spill out if you hit the brakes hard or something like that. Anyway, then what I'm going to do is graph all of this. I'm going to use my dual probe temperature sensor that I use for my smoker. And I'm going to use 1 probe in each, and I'm going to take a reading every 15 minutes. And what I have here is my little graph. So I'm going to start at 212 degrees. That's the temperature of boiling water. And I'm going to pour an equal amount of boiled water into each of these mugs and then take a reading every 15 minutes. I won't bore you with recording every 15 minutes. If anything interesting happens, I'll go ahead and turn the recorder back on, but I'll just pretty much show you the results. And I'm only going to take it down to about 135 to 130 degrees. That's why I have that in red. That is what I will drink the coffee at before it gets too cold. Anything below that mark for me is just it's almost room temperature. It's just really cold. So your miles may vary, but that's kind of my goal, is to see how long, which one of these mugs will maintain the heat the longest. I don't think it'll go beyond every 4 hours, but if it does, I'll just continue and add some more paper to it. So that is it, and I will go ahead and show you my setup and start this. All right, well, everything is finished, and as you can see, it looks like the YETI still kept things in the end warmer, just by a few degrees, but it did. But the Joeveo kept the temperature normal, or I guess level, for a longer period, and that's kind of what its claim to fame is. I'm surprised it kept it at such a low temperature. I thought it would have normalized much higher, probably around the 160 temperature range, but it was down to 140. So I guess you're kind of wondering that, if you're going to be drinking your coffee after 3 hours, yeah, both of them will work. I'm actually kind of shocked that the YETI worked as well as it did. The one thing I'll say about the Joeveo as well is that if you notice right in the beginning, after 15 minutes, the temperature dropped right down to 165, which it's not going to burn your lip. Whereas the YETI, it was still pretty hot at 15 minutes, and even at 30, it was pretty hot. So guess that both of them will work. They both are great products. Just wanted to share this with you, and if you have any questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll do my best to answer everything for you.